Hey guys, I have something I want to talk about that I felt compelled to vlog about, so here we are. I haven't been making these if I don't feel pulled to it, which I think makes sense, but I'm suddenly on this basically I went to a wedding recently, and at the wedding someone described my friend as the type of person who will, you meet him and then he changes your life, transforms your life. And that he does this for a lot of people, which I found really inspiring. And then I met this other guy who he runs, he's a VC and runs his own mentorship program, but he had this metric of it's salsa in the park happening, but he had this metric of can I transform the lives of 100 people? And he thinks he can get up to 500 and probably not 1,000. And I was like, well, what do you mean by transform? To what depth and what degree? And he said something when you think about your own life, someone asks you who in your life was pivotal for you, who had a, who did something that led to some pivotal moment or inflection point, some kind of some kind of you reached a new level, and who is that for you? And I think there's all kinds of ways that you can think about this. I was particularly focused on almost really small little ideas or moments or conversations or pushes that led to a significant change in your life. And I think when I think about people who've changed, one of the people that come up are very much people who hired me or took a chance on me and believed in me when I was just starting out or just getting in, who welcomed you into the community, who plugged you in, or who hired you, who took a chance on you, who believed in you, who saw you, who looked at your art projects and said, wow, this really resonates, I really get this, and who wrote some blog post or said something that influenced a major life decision you made. And based off of this idea or advice, you picked a path that was dramatically different from others, right? Maybe where did you pick where to live, or how did you pick who to marry, and how did you enter certain communities, and how did this new context shape your life? So these feel all really big and important decision points. How do you make decisions? Almost who influenced decisions you made, and how did that lead to major changes in your life, in your timeline? And I'm finding myself more compelled by these almost brief instances, or for me strikes of inspiration will just take my subconscious and hold it, and then I'll be oh, I have to do this thing because I saw this bird fly down one time, and something really struck me about it, and ever since then I've wanted to travel to this country where this bird is from. For me the inspiration is pretty big, but yeah, there's also a lot of people who change lives through very slow and gradual change, which is a lot of care over time, kindness over time, attention, awareness, affection over time. And then there's also this whole material, financial support side, where it's who put you up who put a roof over your head when you were struggling, or who gave you some money so you could try to get back on your feet. There's also therapists, right? Who work with you through a lot of emotional or traumatic issues and experiences. So I feel like there's something really exciting here for me of like formalizing that and then creating higher fidelity around what it means, like what are the common patterns that someone has been transformative for you, how so, and like how do we pass it on, like what are ways that we can be doing that for others, what are things that are like high leverage, low effort, that allow you to change people's lives, like connections, introductions, even the practice of unblocking each other, being like, what are your problems, and talking to them and getting a sense of like, oh, I could easily help you out. Like weak ties, even like the concept of weak ties and how like powerful they can be, and then taking a little bit of like, yeah, just going to a little bit of effort to be like, oh yeah, like I can pass this on, or I can introduce you to certain frames that you might find interesting, or like you might like this person's work. Like I feel like there's something really exciting here about getting a little more infrastructure, scaffolding around, it's like empowering people to empower each other. And what would that look like if there's like a little more intention to that? What else? I think there was one other thing that my friend said that was a transformative pattern, which is like your friend who kind of tells you to like snap out of it, like interventions, or like being like, hey, this isn't working, and kind of like giving you that push to be like, get your shit together, or like you are living in a falsehood or something, like a contradiction of some sort, and like just being willing to, it's like a radical empathy kind of stance, right? It's like, oh, I'm just going to tell you like this is something that you have been like looping on or struggling with, and like being real with them on that is like another form of help. So I used to think that being a community pillar was like something that I really wanted to do, and it was sort of like the idea of being this person that holds like the heart and soul of a community and like beats the drum. And I have a few people in my life that I have met who was that for the communities that I held as home, and that was so inspiring to me. I don't know that they're transformative as much as like critical, you know, but now I'm thinking about like, oh, this is so fun. Like what are these people that manage to be transformative for many people in their lives? What are the skills they have? Like what is it that enables such impact? And how can I find my own like qualities, the things that I naturally, like my own talents, things that I naturally do well that lead to really outsized like benefit for others, and yeah, just how do I become that kind of person? So yeah, I think that's my ramble for today. I was excited to think more on it, curious people's thoughts, but okay, bye. I guess also in comments, like I'm curious for like examples from your life of like, oh, this person changed my life, like my life took a turn when I met this person. What happened? What did they do? What was the tone or the context? What are like the ways that something clicked, or like and like yeah, it's funny, I don't know exactly why I'm like seized by this more than other things, but this is just where my curiosity is leading me. So yeah, all right, bye.